came in a little hot there. Yo, what's going on? It's been a while since I've posted anything, especially on this channel, but might be making a comeback here. Found a fun one, a 2001 Honda Elite CH80. I know nothing about these. I've never done research. Honestly, never thought I would have a motor scooter, but came across it at work the other day and asked the owner, like, hey, what are you doing with that? What's wrong with it? They said they have no clue what's wrong with it. They thought it was something in the gearbox, torque converter, but it had been sitting for 7 years. And they said, you know, I'll get rid of it. And long story short, I ended up paying them $100 and went later that on that weekend to pick it up and bring it home. So when I did get it home, there were some major issues up front that I knew had to be addressed first, just to see if we could get it running. But that's kind of what this video is going to be about. And you know what? We're just going to jump right into it. Here we have one doggo. Archie. Yeah, he doesn't care. But this is the scooter. It is extremely clean, other than the dust, which needs cleaned off, but that's not an issue. And then one good boy. But yeah, I'm going to start by tearing all of this apart, getting the gas tank out. It needs cleaned badly. And then just trying to get to the carburetors, because God only knows what that looks like too, judging by how the gas tank looks, which I think I might be able to do. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. This. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. I'm surprised that even opens. So yeah, that needs to come out. That needs to be cleaned up. Ideally, I'd like to just replace the gas tank, but I don't think that's going to be too easy to find. But anyway, let's get to the teardown. Alright, so I do have limited workspace. My garage is a disaster. But I'm going to start by removing the seat and removing all the plastics, bearings around it, just trying to expose everything. Get a look at the, I know it's a torque converter, like a CVT for the gearbox, and then I just want to take a look at everything. And thankfully, the lady I bought this from had this old thing. So yeah, mission one, tear all this out. So let's get rolling on that. Okay, that was way easier than I thought it'd be to take off the plastics. Down there. And so that front piece comes off. And then after that, all I had to do was take this bar off that goes over the gas tank here. That pulls out. And then there was one bolt that held the plastics in the back above the back tail light. And then they all just kind of slide out. I went slow and careful with it because those are pretty brittle. I have plenty of experience with old brittle plastics in the past, but now we can kind of get a good look inside here. So, I mean, you got the carburetor right here. See how that snapback is? Dude, that's pretty good. Kidding me? I mean, this all looks really good. Because the lady said it could be something with the gearbox. It only has 8,505 miles on it. So I'm going to keep digging in, taking stuff apart, and I guess we'll go from there. It does crank for shits and giggles. I put that on there. Brake light works. Well, it does crank. That just died on me. I'm done messing with it. I haven't checked and see if there was oil in it, which would probably be a smart move. But it's not locked up or anything, so that's really good. Okay, so in order to take this gas tank off, this fuel gauge here, which is nice to have, which I'm glad I did pull this out, was extremely gummy. As you can see, it's not trying to go back how it should. But it just slides in kind of like that. That's how I had to pull it out very carefully, because you don't want to break or bend any of these pieces. But I mean, you can see that's pretty nasty in there. But the issue is this metal tab here laid over it, so I had to kind of pry that back some. You do want to be careful. Thankfully this was already pretty loose, but this kind of locks into place in here. I just used some lockjaw pliers. Really didn't even need that. I just kind of was able to do it with just my fingers once it was slightly broken loose. So kind of a good sign, but also got to figure out if this is salvageable. Oh, there's the gasket right in there. So now from what I'm seeing here, there's 10mm bolts here, here, there, and there. So I'm going to start taking those off and see if this tank will pull up. It looks like these, though, are also connected to the battery tray and seat holder here, the seat lever. So I'm going to start cranking on those and see what happens. Okay, so this is kind of a weird setup. The best way I can do it to try to show you. So all I had to do was disconnect the fuel line that was down here at the bottom of the carburetor, and then this line here was, it's gonna be kind of hard to see. It was back there on that nipple there. Oh, there we go. Wait, here, let's do this. Oh, never mind, can't use my flash. So yeah, just those two fuel lines, and then this will start to come up and out. So, not too bad. 4 bolts on the gas tank, and then 2 right here and here for the battery box and seat hinge. So 6 bolts total. Those come out, and then those 2 fuel lines, gas tank should come out. So I'm going to pull it out now and we'll take a look. Okay, we'll pour it out. Ooh. Ooh. That is a lot of gas. Pretty gross. That is dark. I mean, if it's been sitting there since 17, so what is that, 8 years? Oh, don't tell me that's clogged. Now it's draining. So yeah, that is just fantastic. Oh man. Well, I might as well get a new gas cap. Downside is now trying to get gas caps for these things. I don't know, this might clean up. We'll probably buff out. Oh, never mind. You're just gonna, like, if you try to Amazon this, or even maybe eBay, it's just gonna give you a bunch of one-size-fits-all cheap crap that's not gonna last long. Oh no. I hope that was just the gas making that noise. Oh yeah, there's some crunchies in there. I'm gonna set this down real quick. Oh yeah, that does not look great. Well, I'm gonna have to get something in here to start getting that cleaned out, because that is bad. Alright, I'm gonna start with, I had a half gallon of distilled white vinegar. Kind of gonna slosh that around in there for a while and let it kind of eat away at the rust. That's what I shook out of it. I know this thing was already dirty to start with, but a lot of that came out of this tank. So I'm gonna let that sit for a while, kind of sloshing around, and start working on taking off the carburetor and seeing what that looks like. Okay, well, I finally got this carburetor off. A lot trickier than I thought it was gonna be. I ended up just taking off this little intake attachment here with it, mainly because the nuts that you have to take off to get the carb off of it end up hitting right there. It makes it a little tricky, and also when it's on the engine, it's really hard to see that second one. But not only that, when it was up there, that back nut took forever to get. So basically, you can kind of see it right there. I had to go at it from the opposite side over here, and could only go quarter turn, not even a quarter turn at a time, but eventually it came loose. I can get it off with my fingers. So, a couple things. 2 bolts, or sorry, 2 nuts down here on these studs that are on the engine head. Then there is a fuel enrichment valve, I think that's what it was called, that has 2 tiny screws and this plate here, and that goes in there. So that needs to come off, which honestly what I did is, once you have the fuel lines removed, I removed the carburetor so that way I could pull this off and have enough room to turn it around to get all the screws out. There's 2 screws there for that. And then the throttle cable, you'll want to loosen this top nut, push it down, that way you can flip the cable out of the actual throttle here. And then I just took the 2 screws off the mounting plate there and then put them back in so I wouldn't lose them, which just reminds me, I don't know what I just did with those 2 little baby screws for the fuel enrichment valve. So, but yeah, now it's finally off. I'm going to start tearing this apart, looking into it, seeing if it needs a full replacement or if it's even worth saving. I did see online they're about 20 bucks. So honestly, I mean, if it's the exact same thing and it's 20 bucks, I'd rather just replace it than waste money and time trying to clean it. So I don't know, we'll take a look. Okay, it is now the next day. I had this all pulled apart last night in the car, but it is, pour all that out, it is pretty gross in there. Everything, I mean, this was all chunky, I had to break that loose, so I let everything sit, and the jets are down in there. I didn't have anything immediately last night, so I just soaked everything in WD-40, kind of break it loose, get it moving. I just made a trip to O'Reilly's and got some carb cleaner, 2 cans of brake cleaner, some gearbox fluid for the CVT in there, because I'm not sure what level that is. I do know the oil level is next to nothing, so picked up some 10W40, and I'm going to start getting everything all cleaned up, and we'll see what it looks like when it's done. I decided I'm also going to keep a running tally of how much this is all going to be. I did just spend about 41, let me see here, $41.74 on the fluids there and cleaners. So right now we're $141 in on this project, so I'll kind of keep a running total going on that, and let's get to cleaning. It's already doing pretty good. If you look in here, it's cleaning it pretty decent. I gotta get some junk out of there, but oh great. The jets are now getting cleaned out. This is the main jet. I can actually see light through this now. I don't know if we'll be able to. Oh yeah, you can kind of see through there. That's good. But the secondary I am struggling. I have it soaking a little bit longer in the bowl there. Struggling to get that to pop open. The smallest thing I have is a staple, which I can't get, but it goes in about a quarter way and stops. I think it's just the jet itself is restricting me from going any further. Not too sure. So I'm going to kind of let everything sit. Just let it clean out. I mean, now it's just kind of a waiting game. So we'll see. Alright, coming back to the gas tank, one thing I'm really worried about. I've let vinegar sit in there for about almost 24 hours-ish now, maybe 20 hours. I threw in a bunch of like screws and stuff like that with it as well, so I can kind of shake it and scrape everything off of it. I used this as a plug so I could shake it aggressively when I pulled it back out. I mean, that is just disgusting. I'm still not even able to get everything out of there, so gas tank definitely has me worried. I think what I'm going to do is just try to get it cleaned best I can and then just leave a fuel filter on it and replace the filter frequently. Really about all I can do at this point, so I'm going to keep messing with it though and see how far we can get. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, but still, that's pretty bad. Alright, this vinegar has been sitting in here for like 4 days. I did get more, but I'm going to put more in there and let it sit longer. This is going to be pretty gross. Yeah. That's pretty bad. I don't even think it got most of it out. Let's see. Oh, there's the fuel filter from the petcock, so yeah, the petcock's gonna have to get replaced. Honestly, it's looking way better in there. Wow. Well, I'm gonna put a full gallon in there and some more screws. Mix it up some more and then check it in a couple more days. Okay, it has been a couple of days and it's been crazy. So long story short, I could only get the main jet cleared. Sorry, no, this is the slow jet. It has, you're not going to be able to see it, it won't focus. Could not get it cleared. I sat here forever with a file and a like a little staple trying to file it, trying to get it small enough to go in there. Couldn't get it, so I went and looked up a jet kit for this carburetor. There's the main jet. That one actually got cleared out. But got this thing super cleaned up, looks pretty decent for its age. Still some kind of gunk in there. But I looked up a jet kit and gasket kit for this carburetor, and it was like 15, 17 bucks. And then a whole new carburetor was 30. So, yeah, long story short, I just got a new carburetor for 30 bucks. All put together, all the gaskets. Hopefully it works. I've seen an issue where some of the new carbs, the float is a little bit bigger, so I do have the old float just in case. I can swap that out, might take a micrometer, do it, make sure they're the right sizes if that doesn't work. That's worst case scenario. Goal is to try to throw that on there. I'm going to start getting everything put back together on here and put some fluids in it. The gas tank has been sitting for days with vinegar in it, and actually, this is kind of crazy. I've never actually had to clean a rusted tank out before, one this severe. And this cap last time was disgusting. And now, I mean, it's literally just wiping away. It's crazy. I didn't know vinegar worked that good. But I do also have baking soda to kind of put it in there once I dump all this new old crap out. So that way it won't flash rust or anything. So a lot to do, a lot to do. So I'm going to start working on getting all that put back together. is good. So now it came with a new thermal valve here. So I gotta follow these wires which go up over into this and here. That bottom skinny one there goes around down. It's these two, the yellow and green. So I'm going to play with these, get those removed, pull out the old thermal valve, and get the new wires ran in there. So I'm going to start working on that now. Okay, everything is on. Should be good, other than the fuel lines and stuff. I mean, the fuel tank, obviously, we know how that's doing. So kind of housekeeping items. I'm going to drain the oil. I don't think there's a lot in it. And then get the fluid changed in the diff. So, crack that open. I'm going to get a little bucket. Again, a little painter bucket. Should be good. And then I think I'm actually going to get a little bit of an extension here. Okay. Oh, that was not even on there. That is a great sign. No oil at all. Okay, great. Well, that's great. Okay, now that we know it didn't have any oil in it, got my handy dandy little angled funnel in there. And I've got only the best oil and I lost it. We got racing oil, alright. Go fast oil. Now it said 0.74 quarts, so I'm gonna put right around there in it, and we'll measure it and see what it's looking like. Oh, little baby funnel. You know, when you've been doing stuff like this for nearly a decade, you get pretty good at eyeballing and feel. First try, and it was pretty much right on the money. That's like perfect. You couldn't ask for a better pour. So, really glad I cranked this up with a battery jump box with no oil in it. I'm dumb. It's a rookie mistake. I should have checked beforehand. Yeah, so I really still don't know the actual issue of this carburetor and gas tank. Obviously, it's going to be first just because it's sat for so long and the condition of the carburetor, awful. Jets were clogged, everything was clogged, tank rusty. So I'm going to start there, at least to see if I can get it running. And if it starts running, and the back wheel doesn't move, because originally she was saying it might have been like a gearbox issue. No idea. So as long as we can get it running first, we can kind of go from there and then see what's happening. So now we got oil at least. I really shouldn't try this, but I just want to make sure that we've got spark. If we do have fuel, once everything's clean, will we have spark? So brake lights on. Little brake clean. It runs. I'm extremely excited. The engine sounded good for the short amount of time it did run. It fired right up with a little persuasion. So we got compression. We definitely have spark. The only thing we have to worry about now is once the gas tank is on there and it's all cleaned, that this carburetor actually works as it should. Meaning, I've just never had luck with buying carburetors, especially these cheap ones, online. The thing is I could have bought a more expensive one, but they use the exact same stock photo as this one. So $30 was middle of the range of all of the ones that I saw. But I did buy a carburetor for that go-kart motor a while ago, and never really figured out or cared what was wrong with it. But yeah, it's on the shelf now. So robbed what I needed off of it, but I don't know if it was something with the float or what it was. But fingers crossed that once this gas tank is all cleaned up, which I know it needs a petcock, giggity. After I drained out the vinegar that was in it the other day, looking inside of there, I saw the fuel filter. So the whole petcock underneath is definitely got to be clogged, because I mean, none of the vinegar is coming out now. So yeah, but man, extremely excited. I might try to be proactive and take this cover off, see what the torque converter and everything's looking like. Chances are it might need a belt. I don't know. So, but still, it runs. We got spark. As long as we can get fuel through this bad girl and a clean fuel tank, I think we're going to be riding. And obviously, once I do start riding, everything's going to get a nice clean. I mean, this thing's a couple scratches here and there that can be buffed out. I mean, this thing's in pretty decent condition, other than it just being filthy and sitting for years. So, really excited. Okay, it's been a few more days. Fun fact, the cap to the vinegar fits over here. Pretty nice. So I just shook it up some more. I'm going to drain it, and then I think it's been long enough. It's been a week with just vinegar in it and shaking it every day. And I'm going to put some baking soda and water in it, mix it up to try to stop it from flash rusting. And yeah, we'll go from there. So let's get this open, dump that out. Actually, let's see if we can. That's going to be hard to get off now. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see how gross this looks. Oh, God. No. Great. Okay, so I got the gas tank sitting back there with the baking soda and water, letting it simmer so it doesn't flash freeze, and then I took the oil float here, sorry, the fuel level float in here, fuel unit. That whole rod is completely rusty, so I got a little bit of Scotch Brite here, and I'm just going to gently rub it to get that cleaned up. And then I'm going to also use some of the Scotch Brite. The filter that was here for the torque converter belt just crumbled away, so I'm going to get some more of this in there and we'll be good to go. And then for now I'll start working on this. Got the side cover back on. Oil is in the transmission, so basically, I know I didn't film any of this, but fill plug, an inspection, and then there's a bolt down here that you have to take out to drain the fluid, and I don't think that stuff was ever replaced before. I mean, it's black. It smells horrible too. Good old gear fluid. I messed up, looked online, and it was saying get 80W90 like actual gear oil. No, should have just looked in the manual. It's actually 1030, but I just used 1040 in one of these cheap little syringes. It's 150 cc's or 150 milliliters that go in there. You can't overfill it. Basically, once it's drained out and you have this bolt out, just squeeze that 150 milliliters in there, 150 cc's, let it drain out till it stops. What I do is I wait till it's draining very lightly out of there and then just plug it up. So and then I just kind of go and move it around, call it good. So that's good. Carburetor's good. Waiting on the gas tank, but once the gas tank is done, and then I put this in some baking soda and water. I mean, look how good that looks now. It looks almost brand new. It'll focus. Oh man, this was just covered in rust earlier. Why won't you focus? There we go. That looks nice now. So, yeah. Not all rusty anymore. I'm still let it sit in there so it doesn't flash rust on me. Very happy how well this is going so far. Okay, and while I'm kind of waiting for everything now, I'm going to make the new little filter here. What I'm going to do is set this on there where I need it. And then basically just take something solid and then just start rubbing it. Giggity. That way it'll kind of give me the outline I need and know where to cut it. Maybe it was just working. So there you go. You can kind of see it. I'm going to cut it out. I should use a knife. Don't know what happened to it. Boop. That's good enough. Look at that. Boom. Alright, now we're good. I was worried about that, and then I realized I had a piece of this laying around still. Okay, so it's been doing stuff. Oh god, that's hard on there. That'll clean off pretty easily. Not really sure how long I need to leave this in there for, but... Oh, you know what? This thing's almost full. Actually, it's probably going to cause it to turn into a volcano. Okay, got the tank here. I'm going to start getting this all cleaned. I ran a whole thing of water through it, disconnected the petcock, and let everything drain out. Yeah, let's just start getting this cleaned up. Okay. Still some nasty stuff in there, but man, that is a night and day difference from what it was. Much, much better. I think at this point what I'm going to do, the new petcocks came with some new filters. Oh man, that's so much better. There's still some little floaties in there, but here's the old petcock. It came with a new fuel filter. The one that was in there actually broke off inside the tank when I was cleaning it, but this was a pack for 11 bucks. It came with two actually, and two filters, so I'm going to get all that installed. I'm not thrilled about using the old fuel line. It's very brittle, but it'll have to do for testing purposes, and if it shows to be an issue like I think it might be, I'll just go get some new fuel line too. But it also came, the carburetor came with an inline fuel filter as well, so I'm going to have the fuel filter that sits inside the tank off the petcock, and I'm going to attach a fuel filter on this end too, just to be safe, because where it looks really good now, it was really gross before. It is the next day. I got the vinegar dumped out of here. It sat in there all night, and I put some baking soda water in there, and I keep mixing it up periodically, but this thing almost looks brand new. Other than the little nasty looking float. I'll see if I can clean that up some, but way better than what it was, so making sure it doesn't rust on me. Inside the tank, it is better, but I got pretty much all the big chunks out of there. I think it did start to rust just a little bit more in there. That's alright, it's going back in. I got the filter in there, and I'm going to put an inline filter in these fuel lines as well, but right now I'm just trying to finagle these lines back in the best I can, so I'm going to keep fighting with that and see if I can get it all hooked up. The next day, I had a battery, the only one they had that fit. Unfortunately, I had to put the acid in it and then let it sit on a trickle charger, so it's been about 24 hours. It is testing right around where I need it, I believe. It's actually a little high, so, but it's been dropping, so I'm going to put it in there. I did get it running yesterday off of a jumper, and it ran for a while and then didn't after. I think it flooded. I don't know, but we're gonna throw the battery in there and see what it does. All right, it's running, idling good. Giving it gas though. I'm getting a smoke, and I think it's coming from the belt. It's hard to keep it running. There it goes. Okay. This really sucks because I'm doing this all with my phone. Not a really good way to record. I did just take it out on its maiden voyage. It ran. It was going up to speed great. I think I got up to like 40 miles an hour, or at least what it said on the speedometer. But this old fuel line here is leaking. You can see it's pretty wet. So that's no good. I'm gonna get some more fuel line probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, and then I don't know. I was thinking maybe something was wrong with the torque converter because I was smelling that burnt belt smell. Well, I'm stupid. I had it on the kickstand and was giving it gas, and the tire was oh so gently doing a burnout on the garage floor. So that's what that was. But yeah, I took it around the block twice, and man, it's surprisingly comfy. A little bouncy, but the roads out here aren't the greatest. But I'm hoping it should be fine as long as I go and get some new fuel line. I'm just gonna ride it till it doesn't move, and then I'll know. It'll probably be something in the torque converter box. Let's take that cover off and kind of see what's going on in there. I did the other day. Didn't look horrible, didn't look great. I know the rollers and the drive pulley are a common wear item that probably needs replaced if I had to guess, but for now it was running great, ish. I think something's still kind of going weird with the fuel. I think I need to do a little bit more carb tuning, but ripping it around, it sat for so long, I think just blowing off the carbon dust inside the engine probably helped some too, but I mean it starts up every time now. I can show you here. We got brake light, run. But so that's great. I mean, I'm really happy. The engine sounds good. It's running good. It starts up each time. It is warmed up now. That might have something to do with it starting up that quick, but yeah, kind of the goal for the weekend is fuel line, get it running right, clean it up, because I have a feeling this is going to shine up real nice, and by God, we got a scooter. So I'm excited. This thing was actually pretty fun to just go around the block, and I'll try to get a good video of riding it as well. So, but that will have to take place tomorrow. Alright, well, that pretty much does it for this video. This was way longer than I expected it to be. once I started piecing all the videos together. I mean, this whole project took about maybe 2 weeks until I was able to ride it. You know, majority of that was just getting the gas tank cleaned out. But pretty much I come home from work and ride it around a little bit. You know, it's fun to kind of scoot around on. It does still need a little bit of carburetor tuning on it. I do want to replace the fuel line. I know it was leaking in the video. I did replace it with like a piece of line that came with the carburetor, but it's not sturdy enough, so I think it's getting kinked up underneath the seat, but it's really hard to tell. So I am going to replace that, and then probably have that in a separate video, as well as replacing the torque converter belt and the rollers and the drive pulley. So I'm going to get all that stuff ordered, start working on that. I do still have some other things that's going to come out in a second video with this bike, but I do have more content that I did film that didn't make it into this video that I'm going to turn into a second video. Again, if I were to put everything into one, we'd probably have, you know, an hour-and-a-half long video. Unnecessary. I'm already pushing it at 40 minutes. I didn't even want to do that. But like I said, there's more to come with this, and it's fun. It's exciting. I might even, like I said, vinyl wrap the thing. I don't know yet. But we'll kind of see what happens with the scooter as time goes on. So keep a lookout for the next video. That'll be probably coming out next week after this one's posted. We'll see how this does. I might try to stick to maybe a once a week schedule if I can even find enough content, right, with this bike. Or it might even be something else, like maybe getting the go-kart running again. I don't know, something small, power sports, cheap, quick, knock it out, have some fun, hurt yourself. So, but again, thank you all for watching. We'll see you all in the next one.